We're gonna talk about Reddit questions, especially at Bishan MRT. I think we know why.
I think you think too much.
The TJ uniform is in the color of secluded and quite fine, nobody goes there. Unhinged study method. On our way to eating buffet to have our mukbang Reddit SG exam version. So I was supposed to go to the other side to take the bus, but I realized the bus only coming in 14-15 minutes and somehow it's like starting to drizzle.
It's raining.
So we are going to another bus stop. Gonna pass by my student's house. Not going to b-roll it obviously, but gonna b-roll the church near my student's house. Hopefully it's not too crowded today. Hopefully we'll get a good mix of food and some honest advice. Brutally honest advice. Talk to you guys later. That's the new bus in the queue. The new people at the back. Busing area, but somehow it's developed a bit more. Spin a house in the area. But we are here for bouquet. Let's go.
Open.
So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna cook first, prepare a whole load of everything first, then while we eat, we'll talk. I have a lot of things to talk about on Reddit exams, and these are all the posts that I found that are considered hot. So they have been upvoted many times and they are only in the past 2 months. Hopefully we got something fruitful to share. If not, just eat with me, eat with us. Okay, see you tomorrow. So this is our first round. Every round that we order, we're gonna talk about Reddit questions. But let's try the food first. It's been at least like 13 years since I had this. So I think I'm having this beef, the Shabu Shabu Classic. So let's try without any sauce. This is, I believe, the beef short plate. Not bad. Maybe I overcooked it because I lumped them all together. But I don't know whether my girlfriend tried. Have you tried? By the way, we're paying for this with some buffet vouchers. Did we get any sauce? What sauce is that? I tried. So this is a soy sauce. Very glad going to find. Tastes better with the soy sauce. So everything we had so far is all the plain flavor. Let's try one with the tomato one. What does this look like to me? Let's try with the tomato. This one is less chewy, so probably it's pork. I think it'll go great with some sauce for sure. These are all the beef cube roll. This side is where all the normal one, the classic one. This one is where all the shabu shabu one is at. I'm gonna try it right now. I think I prefer a short plate then. Cube roll, right, doesn't have much fat, then it tastes tougher. You fine? Everything is tough. I think it's great for keto diet if you're not eating any rice. I think there's value for you. Let's try it with some kimchi. I think it'll taste better with kimchi. Yesterday I was watching Deep OJ when he reviewed this place, but the Plaza Singapore one. He said the kimchi was very pungent. I understand now. The smell very strong. It overpowers everything. But I ordered it with the soup. He had the kimchi soup. I don't know, to me it's like I feel a bit strong. This is the chicken. Okay, so round one. This one was upvoted 142 times. Do people look down on YIJC? So this guy from the stairs I get in the MRT interchange, especially at Bishan MRT. I think we know why. He gets this sense of awkwardness when he tells people that he's from YI. Like the school title becomes more of a curse compared to other JC. Then he was saying I could have gotten into other JCs like CM, JP, but did not put the letter due to travel time. I think that's very important. Don't go too far. So right now, according to him, he's in this JC where the stigma of being an infamous bad JC is still lingering among students these days. Since our principal also acknowledged that the 2026 J1 cohort didn't perform as badly or too bad compared to previous years. So what he's trying to say is that last time YIJC or Yishun JC used to be for 20 to 18 pointers, but this year even though the cutoff point is 18, a lot of students, including my followers, like scored 15, 14, 13 and they still went to YIJC because of how competitive it is. They call it great inflation. In short, do other JC students and teachers bear this fact in mind? Or is the classic stereotype still out there? I'm not trying to say I'm too good for the school or this school is too rub-out for me, but I'm genuinely wondering if people will give up on this stigma. So what do you think, Dave?
I think you think too much. Nobody really cares what uniform you are wearing. You also feel awkward in the school uniform that you are the one making it.
That's true, right? Because last year I had this student who came for the math trial class. He was from Nas Secondary School and he was a top scorer for A math. And he went back to get an award. My other student told me they were from the same secondary school. So this guy actually is in YIJC, and when people go back to school to get their awards, whether it's EduSave Award, Eagles Award, or just an internal school award, usually they'll wear their school uniform. But this guy, he refused to do so, even though he was a top scorer for A math in that secondary school. And part of the reason he said was because he didn't want people to know that even though he did so well, it was only YIJC. I kind of understand where he's coming from, because when I was in TPJC, sometimes I study with friends from YIJC and all that. Let's down the heat a bit. Okay, I have to study with my friends from Nanyang, SA, or even one who was from Hwa Chong. But did I really feel inferior to them? Maybe it's just me, but I don't. I don't even look for their notes. I don't even ask for reference to their notes. I just use my own notes, and I feel that most of the time what we have in school is good enough. And it comes down to you and your perception of what your school is. I get it, some form of stigma, especially when you're dealing with some students who are not so mature. They'll just think that, oh, you're from YI, you must be some slacker and all that. And there is some truth in that, because ultimately the score does reflect some behavioral characteristics about you, but you are not the rest of them. You hopefully join me and become a class above the rest. When in NY last time was like 10 points, right? Then you always get mistaken for Hwa Chong student.
But I don't really care. I just go outside and buy stuff. Then the auntie see my uniform. Oh, girl, you're so smart. You're from Hong yeah. Silently.
For me, I was from TPJC, so the closest uniform colour was Temasek Junior College. Words from my teachers were from TJ. She said, our uniform is nicer, better than TJ one. And in her words, she said, the TJ uniform is in the colour of bird shit. So we never got mistaken for that. And one of the things is, you know, in Chinese, your school Chinese name is Nanchu, right? Then we cannot call ourselves Danchu, because Dan is actually Temasek. So we call ourselves Ding Chu, so Dan Ding Ding Chu. Then one of my friends, very body one, she say, oh,
我们是冰厨啊 I like, it's the fridge, got food.
Then my Chinese teacher laughed.
CL2 guys.
Hey, we are not CIV, we all straight A's one. Our Chinese class was the A one. But everybody scored A, including me. 100% of us, we all scored A one. So my class was really the cream of the crop for Chinese one. Moral of the story, don't feel that way, because most of the time I think it's internal. Actually, for your friends, I think especially your friends, I don't think they care so much. And if it's strangers, they don't know you, just like how some of you don't know me. Whatever hate comments you leave, I don't really care. But I'll find a way to suck you up. Just kidding, but not really.
Remember that everyone is too busy worrying about themselves to worry about what you are doing, or where nobody cares.
YIJC, not too bad of a school. I hope they get better with the new cutoff point. And I feel in general, next year onwards, every JC is going to be very competitive. Every JC is going to be, in the minister's word, a good school. My second round of food, just gonna try the balls. And since my girlfriend talked about Nanyang and Hwa Chong, now this is about Hwa Chong. And I think this is a common experience for both of us. I think it's just a new thing for the JC. There's no homeroom in Hwa Chong. So last time in JC, remember when we want to go for class tutorial, right, we have to go place to place. See, in the recent years, in EJ especially, because they got more classroom, or even my older students from SA, they also have a homeroom. That means like, it's just like secondary school. This classroom is yours. You put your bags inside, then you go for PE lesson, go for recess, whatever. But this guy was complaining that there are no homerooms in this school. I still can't believe that this is true. So basically, they all have a class bench. So just like last time in secondary school canteen, right? Or even JC myself also, we have this table that we all kind of know. Oh, this one is from 09S19 one. Everybody sit there on. Then if you're not from 09S19, you don't go near there. It's just a non-spoken rule. In secondary school also have, especially morning before assembly. So right now in Hwa Chong, he says that they have a class bench. And what they do is, because they don't have a classroom, they put all their bags there. Then they go for classes. To me, my most immediate reaction is, your things won't get stolen, man. I thought the rumor is always that in JC, people steal your notes and all that. Well, this whole thing about not having a classroom makes it such that you don't make friends, because I really like having seat partners and assigned seats. So you're forced to make friends with people outside of your friend group. Then he say he's literally homeless. So he's asking whether everybody else in school is like that. So what was it like in NY? Because one person did mention, NY also don't have this system.
It doesn't matter what.
No homeroom.
Just move around. What's the big deal? Actually, what's the big deal? I don't understand.
Because when you go to all the class, like for me, I always sit with the boys one. Because my class only got like 16 girls, 5 boys. Then naturally I always sit with the boys. Then because my chemistry teacher is a bit strict, she wants to make us everybody better. So she'll split all of us up. So I had to sit with just now the Ping Chu, the Shi Qi. So if not, I wouldn't talk to them. And even so, right, during recess, I don't really like talking to them. And I do get the idea that if you have a homeroom, you get to put your stuff there and it's a lot more comfortable. Because I think what the school wanted to do is ensure that you all can get used to the university style. Because in university, it's like that.
We just carry our stuff on.
Yeah.
Actually, it was never an issue for me.
I think it's just a secondary school thing. People like that kind of arrangement. Because when I was in Sec 3, Bowen tried to do the same thing. They tried to do lecture, tutorial style to make us look better in front of the parents. But after Sec 3, we realized that it wasn't working. So all of us got a homeroom. They were all very happy. All the classes are at the same place. And most importantly, every time when there's no exam B, right? Wow, we love it. Go back to our classroom and sit down.
My friends and I will just find an empty classroom and just go in. I mean, usually if we want to study, we just go anywhere. Then just go and sit inside. Doesn't matter.
She's start only, right?
Yeah, then just go somewhere else. But NY has a lot of study spots. There's this like container classroom at the back of the school. Then we always go there. I think because it's secluded and quite far, so people usually don't go there. Then my class will just go inside and study.
Secluded and quite far, nobody goes there. That's a CJ thing to have.
Hey, we study, okay? Nobody goes and study. And right, the best part about container classroom is got aircon.
Oh yeah, another thing that I saw yesterday, the MP was talking about making sure all the primary schools also have aircon classroom. Because for every 18 degrees Celsius of difference, it's a 1% drop in productivity.
But nowadays, it's really too hot.
My one was, my teacher was on when the VP not around. Then got one time she on when the VP walked by. then the VP asked, why you on the aircon? Then you just sit quiet. Then my teacher just look at us. I tell y'all don't on already. Then we oh. Jing Wei, we're going to climb on. And one of the funny stories is actually the teacher not supposed to on before a certain time, but it was 9 o'clock. 10:30 they can on. Then they must collect the remote control, right? So 9 o'clock, she obviously collect the remote control. So she asked like, hey, can one of the boys go and press? And I just stood up lah. I just like pretend I want to stand up. And then my teacher said, Yao not you. You're too vertically challenged. And then the whole class laughed.
Every classroom also got aircon.
Yeah, I think so. I remember. I get what the student is trying to say. Have a sense of belonging. But your JC is meant to be a junior college. That means it's a prelude to your university. In fact, when you go to university, your year 1 stuff, most of the things you learn are related to A level. So it's preparing you for the university where you go for lecture tutorial and you don't have a fixed classroom. And believe me, when you get to uni, right, your friends will not be the ones from your course. For example, my girlfriend is like all the science club people. For me, I was from dance. Believe it or not, I was from dance. So most of my friends are from arts fac and all that. So when I go around arts fac for lunch, right, I'll recognize a lot of people say hi to me, then I feel very good. I'm popular. But if you talk about science, right, at most I talk to my lab mates because I need their results. At most, I talk to my classmate in a certain course because I want to know the answer. But most of the time outside of that, right, people just start to drift. Your friends are not going to be from your class. Your friends are going to be people who share the same interests as you, whether it's in a CCA, volunteering, or some events you're trying to organize. For my girlfriend, it's organization of events. For me, it's dance battles, CCA, hobby. For that good part of my 4 years, it was mostly with my friends outside.
But I know people out of science.
Because you stay in Tembusu, that's another thing, you stay in hostel and all that. But don't count on that to make friends. You have your own way of making friends. So some people will look for friends from other CCA to have a sense of belonging.
That's why I joined Tembusu. You need to go join all those activities. You just take extra modules. Okay lah, not extra. You take modules that can count towards your modular credits.
Yeah, MC.
You can take a bit less modules outside of Tembusu. And the best part is, I wake up in the morning, I go downstairs for class.
I got see people in hall, they stay in hall, right? They come for lecture in FTP and shorts. I used to do that, I wear shorts. I should have dressed better, but that's on hindsight. Because ultimately, when you go to school, you want to feel comfortable. Especially in science, everybody is looking comfortable. But in business, it's about looking good. It's about looking presentable. There's another thing I want to talk about, which is a SMU fresh grad one, but that will be for another video, for another mukbang. So again, no homerooms. Get used to it, because when you go to uni, it's probably the same thing. It's time to move on a bit. If friends are meant to be, they will happen, homerooms or not. And don't leave your bags in public, because you're not so afraid of your phone getting stolen. According to my teachers, when I was in school, according to some of my students, your notes may get stolen. You don't want that to happen, especially if you return it yourself, especially if it came from me. So no homerooms, but prepare to protect your stuff. I think we're gonna leave soon because they asked for last order. I didn't know it's only 1 hour dining time. I thought it was whatever time, but they never say anything. And there's nobody around. And we are not ordering a lot. Anyway, the last comment. Unhinged study method. Take this with a pinch of salt because it's extremely crazy. In JC, when bonding a lot, he'll take MC whatever, but he actually left school to study. Like locking in cafes outside of school, and he was from art stream, so majority of his workload actually is creating model essay, memorizing them for econs. So concepts were simple, especially elasticity. In fact, he did so well until he got invited to take H3, but he decided not to take it. In J2, he never skipped school, but his grades dipped a bit. He didn't get A's in term 1, he was kind of sad. Not encouraging you to skip school, but take note of how you spend your time and how it suits you. Feel free to ask me any question on how I study. So what do you think? Students will skip school to go and study on their own instead. Effectively, private candidate in some sense. They just needed the school for the resources.
It doesn't work for everybody, so just go to school. A lot of JC students, I mean, when you first start JC, right, you just transited from secondary school, which is a really structured environment. And then if you go JC and you straight away go into a very unstructured type of studying habit, you might end up losing a lot of momentum, a lot of discipline, because there's no one to structure it for you. For uni, it's fully unstructured, but then by then we're already quite used to it. But I don't believe it's the same for JC students. It doesn't work for everyone. I had a friend who kept skipping, and then she claims to go and study on her own, but in the end she dropped out.
I also have a story like that, but I find it kind of ironic. Just now the previous one was talking about having a homeroom, like they want the structure of a secondary school, then this one is saying I don't need a structure. So there's a good mix of people there, but in fact I think this is a minority of students. I also had a friend, a classmate in my class. Apparently she did that for a secondary school and did very well. So when she go to JC, and I kid you not, after J2 prelims, right, we never saw her again, apart from the A-level exam itself. So she didn't even collect her prelim result, she just totally skipped. Then she just went on to doing her self-studying and all that. Lo and behold, when she got her result, she didn't make it to a local uni. I don't like her very much, to be frank. My teacher also said the same thing when she asked where is she. And then we just said, oh, she just did her study at home. Then she just said she doesn't trust that she can do that. And the results show. But there's also things like this can work for someone. Like secondary school, I had this classmate, Rong Kai, skip school all the time, right? Crazy. But he always got the highest in class for physics chem. He did well enough to go into a decent poly course. In fact, the funniest story is, I remember he skipped school so much, then there was this one time he didn't come to school. So naturally we just asked, hey, Rong Kai, why you never come to school? Then he just looked at me in puzzled, like bewilderment. Wasn't Monday 1st April? I thought April Fool's is a public holiday. Then we all just laugh. A lot of story about him, about how he skipped school. So funny that even though my form teacher was a discipline master, right, she also gave up on him. Just let him do what he wants because it works for him. But I think towards Sec 4, he started coming to school more. And I don't think he really skipped that much in Sec 4.
Actually, there's benefits to going to school. Sometimes you just need people to bounce off stuff with you. You need classmates to discuss with you, or you can go and discuss with your teacher. You might think that you don't need that discussion, but sometimes, right, I have to say I'm someone who is very scared of having blind spots. If I never think of something and nobody tell me, I'll be very scared and think that I miss out on stuff. So by going to school, kind of like ensure that my blind spots are reduced as much as possible, because maybe you might think you can do the questions, you can just study independently, but sometimes some questions, maybe your classmate has a different way of solving it, a different way of thinking. There's somebody to help you with that, help you see things from a different perspective. So going to school is not purely just for lecture, tutorial.
Exactly. That's why I always ask my students to give me their ideas. I always like them to hear their ideas, because you never know what you don't know until you discuss with someone. But I get it, sometimes like your classmates are not the most generous. Like some people refuse to share their answers with you. Some people refuse to give you the correct thoughts. Know who to hang out with. It's like that as you move through life, especially when you go to adulthood. There are people who are out there to take advantage of you. Must learn who is the one to really listen to and who is the one that you should probably stay away and just maybe stay cordial. Personally, I also got skipped school, but that was only after prelims. So maybe next time I'll do a video on this where I actually go to Bugis National Library Board. I'll show you a day as a JC2 after prelims. How I used to spend my time and how I used to revise. 2-day video probably come out towards August. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe. We'll see each other.
I actually never skip school. Even until prelims, I go back to study. That's why NY is good. Choose NY.
I got studied in school also, but then I just feel that I'm only there when I feel that it's very useful. For example, I need certain prelim papers. I don't have to pay for it. I'll just go to my teacher and ask her. Then she'll like put up some resistance, eventually she'll print for me. That's why I also don't own a Chinese series. Anything I need, right, I just go to Madam Go. Madam Go print for me, then she like, don't want, go and buy yourself, don't want. Then I just keep following her, then she will print for me. Then she print for me, I disappear already. Then I go and study with my friend at the library. My friend will always ask me questions, but I always help him. Truthful answer. But anyway, we brought up last round and memory is running out. So what do you think about all the posts today? Again, let me remind you the post. YIJC being down. Number 2, go home system for the Hwa one. And the last one is being unhinged study methods. What do you think?
Okay, from auntie, when you grew up a bit. These are ridiculous things to complain about. Like bigger issues to worry in JC. Nobody cares about what uniform you wear. You know, when I'm on the street, when I look at students, honestly, right, I don't even know what school the uniform belongs to.
I think they just needed an outlet because when we were in school, we didn't have that outlet. We had most talk amongst ourselves. What was the closest outlet we have? Oh yeah, we were posting stupid things on Facebook.
Not like that.
Yeah, but I also post stupid things before. I never complained, but you know, there used to be this kind of thing where someone upload a picture, then there's a lot of small logo, and the guy who cries a lot. So like the last time the cartoon, the Mr. Whatever, then your friend would tag who's that guy, then the whole class will come out. That one quite funny. Yeah, that's quite funny. That was quite fun. But times have changed. I do feel that some of the comments, or rather some of the concerns you all have, not the biggest of deal. I think if you're more concerned with how to study, how to do well for your exams, I think that's a more valid thing to post on SG exam because you're looking for seniors who have been through the system to give you that. But if you're looking for small things like this, it may come across as frivolous. But anyway, this will be the end of the video. I hope you like this series where we just eat and talk. I'm not sure if I'll do this again because I don't really like eating buffets. Most of the time, buffet, I don't even find value for money anymore. The food may not be that great, but even so, something is just missing. I just don't feel that it's value anymore. I'd rather go to a proper restaurant, and I'm at the age where I don't eat a lot already. Not like they just say they ate 32 trays on their own, no? So I got nothing else. I'll probably see you guys another time. This is Yao Le from Vantage Tutor, a class above the rest. Take care.
So nice to be young though.
Okay, very funny because got one time he skipped, and I told you my teacher is the discipline team one, right? So got one time he skipped a lot of days already. Then he's supposed to give the MC a letter. That day Miss Go was saying, and we can tell that she was acting fierce because she doesn't really act fierce to us one. She's very nice to us. They say, hey, Ron Kai, where's your MC? Then the awkward silence because she act very fierce. Then Ron Kai say,
I'll give you next Monday.
Then she scold so. Ron Kai say, oh, I'll give you tomorrow. And Miss Go keeps scolding her, saying, you cannot keep skipping school like this, no? Then so. Then awkward silence. Then Ron Kai say, okay, I'll give you tomorrow. Tomorrow, he didn't come to school. Then the next time he came to school was Monday already. So Monday, the teacher forgot about it. That's why she also gave up.